Event number 1, Repco Supercars Championship Beaurepaires Sydney SuperNight. And the first time that we get serious with fresh tyres on the car. And at the moment, it is a dry track as they transit past the Seiko Watchtower. BP Ultimate Pit Lane has gone green. We're getting on with the business of rolling 25 supercars out there for our opening round of the Repco Supercars Championship of our brand spanking new season.
One of those, Nick Percat, was with Brett Jones Racing. And there's the big off for Jake Kostecki. And the amount of debris, and have a look at the grass and stuff. I just thinking a second ago when we saw that in the pit area, you need a Jim's Mowing franchise to come and fix that, because it's a lot of grass in there. And there's the Chaz Mostert.
Yeah, I was going to say, guess whose tyres?
Yeah. Boys, you're talking about tyre strategy and what's the best play here. Do you sit and just hope that that 29.7 that Anton De Pasquale did is good enough to get you in the 10? You can't sit here in this session, given that that's the best track conditions we've seen this weekend. The evolution of the track through this session will be the biggest we've seen for such a long time, that every car will have to go into a second run here.
He's hit his apexes nicely, and he's hanging on by his fingernails at the moment. The fast Kiwi runner-up at the New Zealand Grand Prix last year, Andre Heimgartner. And has he moved up? Has he ever? He's moved up into position number 2. He's only 0.3 of a second away. And that was close. That was close. Oh.
So Jake Kostecki was sort of trying to get out of the way. So then it's the one where you walk along the street and you walk into each other as pedestrians and don't know which way to go, left or right. That was a little bit of that circumstance. The Thomas Randall one, he was way too nice. He parked himself on the inside there and actually hurt his entry onto the straight. This Van Gisbergen's come up to third. So De Pasquale, Davison, Van Gisbergen, Heimgartner, Brown, Mostert, Kostecki, Slade, Feeney, Pye. Scott Pye on the bubble, and he's just been knocked out by David Reynolds, who comes up 6 spots tonight.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Checkered flag is now out. De Pasquale the fastest. There are still those that are finishing their laps. Will there be any movement? De Pasquale from Davison, then Van Gisbergen. Great start for him. Heimgartner, ripping return to Brad Jones Racing. Brown, Mostert, Kostecki, Slade, Reynolds and Feeney. So Brock Feeney right on the bubble now. Can he hang on? And will this man, for example, Nick Percat, who's just moved teams, Mobil 1 NTI Racing, is he going to be able to squeeze some margin out of that car? Bryce Forward's done a best first sector, a personal best in the first sector. So with Garth suggested a few moments ago, keep an eye on him. Percat to the line. Is this going to be an improvement? He's sitting 14th at the moment. Is there movement?
No. And that's his second lap because he had a curb strike on the first one. Check this one out. Does Forward make it in? He's right on the cusp here. This is going to be a ripper. He's currently 13th. He's half a second away at the second sector. Phil Keed there looking on. So Phil Keed, very, very experienced engineer, looking after Bryce Forward. What's it do? Oh, no way! He's missed out by 0.06. He's gone to 11th.
Heartbreakingly tight is that margin.
But actually, pretty good, mate. Great work.
Yeah, wow. Great session. How's the battle at the back end? So when you look at those anywhere in the back 5 cars in that top 10, that was mega, and a very important moment for Brock Feeney. Jeremy Moore in the foreground in the engineering bunker. Will Davidson engineer there for Lee Holdsworth on screen. Where did Will... Lee Holdsworth, where did he end up? Down in 23rd position. So yesterday that car was quick in the semi-wet conditions. Will Brown, he's ended up 5th. Tom Moore, his engineer. Breakthrough location for both those young men here last year. So Anton's done it again, but it's only part 1. He can't breathe just yet. But he's done it with a hefty margin, mark, quarter of a second over his own teammate, Will Davison. And a shout out to Ryan Story, who's no doubt watching in Queensland at the moment. Shane Van Gisbergen is next in the queue from Andre Heimgartner, Will Brown, Chaz Mostert, Brody Kostecki, Tim Slade, David Reynolds and Brock Feeney claws in by the narrowest of margins, and a nice way to get his account open in the main game with the big team. And then Bryce Forward, how close was that? 6/100ths of a second was all he needed to find.